Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back. Today we discuss about the strategic choice, and this is the third chapter, third topic that we have to go review on continuous strategic management, then strategic analysis, and now today we discuss our review on strategic choice. So, what element generally involved there? Strategic choice refers to the process of setting a course of action that will enable a big organization to achieve its long-term goal and objective. The meaning is very simple. In this topic, strategic choice basically fused actions that will focus on the company that they have to do these actions to achieve the company's goal. This process involves identification of potential options, evaluating their strengths and weaknesses, and selecting the option that is most likely to lead success. So, in this topic, under the umbrella of strategic choice, we have a different type of actions. We adopt different type of actions that can helpful to achieve company's objective. So we have to see what type of options available in the market, what are the strengths and weaknesses of a company, and on which factor generally we have to adopt that particular option that can helpful to achieve the company's objective. So strategic choice is a critical component of strategic management, which is process of formulating and implementing strategies to achieve organizational goals. That point we already discussed. Effective strategic choice require a thorough understanding of organization's internal and external environment as well as its resources, capabilities, and constraint. So before taking any actions, company have to first see their strength, weaknesses, and then they have to find out how many resources they have. They have skilled workforce, they have enough resources in financial, non-financial way of resources, and what type of constraint that can become a hurdle in achieving their goals and objectives. So there are different several approaches to strategic choice, including rational planning, implementation, and resource-based review. Rational planning involves a systematic process of analyzing data and making decisions based on logical analysis. Incrementism, on the other hand, involves making all small adjustment to an existing strategy overcome. So if company have to adopt one type of strategy, like for example you are a student, so you want to get a good grade in the final exam, you make strategy that from 12 to 2 p.m. you have to study business, accounting, or physics, chemistry, bio. You make a strategy, and you have resources like internet, you have teacher, you have school resources, you have books, and now you have to see that okay, which resources suit you most in the particular time period that not disturb other activity of your business. The resource-based view focus on identification and organization's unique strength and capability and developing a strategy that leverage those strengths. So company always try their best that they have to adopt that particular type of strategy that can be helpful to achieving the goal. But the what factor generally affect in selecting a strategy? You always set the strategy on the basis of your resources, your skills, your capability to achieve the goals. Ultimately, the success of a strategic choice depends on the ability of an organization to implement and execute its chosen strategy effectively. This requires strong leadership, effective communication, and a commitment to ongoing evaluation and adoption. Once the company set the strategy to achieve their goals, so this is major important part that how you have to implement that strategy or not, or you just make a simple vision that if I do this thing I will achieve this thing. Either you go do that thing practically or not. So for doing things practically in organizations, in company, in your life, you need a strong leadership skill that definitely motivate other people, and you have a good communication skill with your employees, and you have a strong commitment to your work that can be helpful to achieving your goals. So first strategy, your first choice is Ansoff matrix, a model used to show the degree of risk associated with four growth strategies: market penetration, market development, product development, and diversification. Basically, these four are the major growth strategy of a company, and basically Ansoff matrix tell us which strategy have less risk and which one have high risk. Two main variable in strategic decision making. The first one is that market in which firms are going to operate, the product intended for sale. In terms of market, managers have two options: to remain in existing market or to enter in new one. In terms of product, there are two options: selling existing product or developing new one. On the basis of these three options, company has to decide either we have to go for market penetration, market development, product development, or diversification. So first of all, we discuss the market penetration. Achieving high market share in existing market with existing product. This is the least risky of all the four possible strategy in which that are used. Few unknown in the market and product parameters remain within the same. However, it is not risk free, as if price low are the method used to penetrate in the market, they could lead to a potential damaging the price war that reduce the profit margin of all firms in the industry. If you are already selling the product in one market, then it is less risky because you are already know about the circumstances, competitors, and legal actions, government view, and culture factor. You already know about the culture of the particular country, so it means that there is less risk involved there. And the other thing is there, when you have to adopt a low price strategy to dominate in the market, that is create a price war between the different competitor in the market. Maybe your competitor fight with you at low prices. In that way, the risk is high. The second type, product development. The product development and sales new product or new development of existing product in the same market or existing market. If you, as I told you in product penetration, for example, you have to sell one product in the old market and now you plan to sell different product, or you bring some variation in the product, but your market segmentation is old. The launch of Diet Pepsi took an existing product, developed into a slightly different vision, and sold in soft drink market where Pepsi was already available. Product development often involves innovation, as with 4G cell phones, and these brand new products can offer a distinguished identity to the business. Now, market development, the strategy of selling existing product in the new market. Now you plan to sell your old product in new market. This could include exporting good to the overseas market or selling to a new market segment. It was successfully repositioned into the soft drink market, appealing to a new young range of consumer. Dell or HP can use existing business computer system and repackage them into sale to new customer market. Like example, if you are in Pakistan or India and Pakistan or any other country, you are selling one particular item and you see that your item is everywhere. Every customer will prefer to purchase your good, and now they are not preferring it in future. Now you plan to sell your old product into new market. Like in Africa, in European country, you have to go there and sell your old product. Diversification. In diversification strategy is very innovative strategy. In this strategy, you have to selling a different product, a new product into a new market. Tata Industry in India is another classic example of a very diversified business, making a huge range of products from diesel to tea bags. Related diversification, backward and forward vertical integration in the existing industry can be less risky than unrated diversification, which takes the business into a completely different industry. The purpose of diversification is simply to reduce the risk. You produce every product and for every segment. You try your best that every person in the country prefer to purchase that particular company product. Like Unilever. Unilever have a different product range, from shampoo to soap to cold drinks and other stuff. They try their best that every customer will prefer to purchase their good and their risk will be go down. As diversification strategy involve new challenges in both market and product. it is the most risky for of the four strategies. It may also be strategy that is outside the core competitiveness of the firm. However, diversification may be a possible option if high risk is balanced out by a chance of high profit. Now, after discussing the fourth strategy, now we discuss the evaluation of Ansoff metrics. The risk involved in these four strategies different sustainability. By opening up these options, Ansoff metrics does not direct a business toward one particular future strategy. However, by identifying the different strategic area in which businesses could expand, the metrics allow managers to analyze the degree of risk associated with one each other. So basically, the purpose of this evaluation say that okay, you have source strategy. Every strategy have their own strength, weaknesses, risk, and other positive options. But that particular Ansoff matrix told you that you do not depend upon Ansoff matrix to make the future strategy. You have to identify your best area in which you have to sell your product. Managers can then apply decision-making techniques to assess the cost, potential gains, and risk associated with all options. In practice, it is a common for large businesses in today fairly competitive world to adopt multiple strategies for growth of same time. So company have to adopt a different strategy to gain maximum profit and reduce the risk. They never rely on one strategy. Either they have to penetrate a product development, market development, or diversification. Ansoff matrix helps to map the strategic business options. It has limitations too. It only considered two main factors in strategic analysis of a business. It is important to consider SWOT analysis and pest analysis that we already discussed in previous lesson in strategic analysis to in order to give more complete picture. So after doing SWOT analysis, strength, weaknesses, opportunity and threat, and pest analysis, in which we discussed about the political, environmental, social and technological factors, we have to make a good strategy for our future. In that, risk is less and profit is high. The next choice in strategic choice type is force field analysis, technique for identify and analyzing the positive factors that support your decision and negative factors that constrain. The techniques use the force field diagram. This is used to present the forces that work in favor of a major change and those that work against. So basically a picture in which you have to pinpoint that either there are different factors, like example, the significance level of the particular threat or opportunity is high or less, and analyze the current situation and the desired situation. List all the factors driving change towards desired situation. List all the constraint factors against change towards the desired situation. Allocate a nominal scores to each force. Identify the scales or a scale or significance of each from 1 to 10. 1 is extremely high, extremely weak, and 10 is extremely strong. Chart that force a diagram with driving force on the left and restraint forces on the right. So in this diagram you have to draw list down all factors that can be effect on your company's decisions or policies or profit. So you have to give allocate a numerical number. 1 is very weak factor and 10 is for most high factor. Like example, technology is high of a factor that can affect on business. You can give 8, 10, 6, 7. Government policies you can give 6 or 7. Competition 5. Then there are other factors, like example international exchange rate policies. You can give different numbers to different factors, and according to that you have to find out that which factors are more strong and put a positive effect on the company and which one is negative effect on the company. Calculate the number and then you can figure out total score and establish from this whether the chance of really variable and so worth going ahead. If yes, then next stage is important. Discuss how the success of change or proposed decisions can be affected by decreasing the strength of the restraining forces and increasing the strength of driving forces. Forcing through with the decision without responding to the analyze with a very high, otherwise people may be uncooperated and resistance if change is forced through with no attempt to reduce the forces against. So basically, you have to find out which forces generally affect on your company's decision, and according that, which one is most dangerous for your company, and that is not helpful in making the strategies and helpful not achieving your goals. So basically, if your company is strong, then it can easily face the different challenges in the market. But that analysis can be helpful to achieving the your clear the direction and clear the eye view picture that which are the forces which can be helpful to achieving your goals and which one are not. And according to that, you have to clear all these hurdles and achieving your goals. Possible management strategies involve staff should be trained for making the force field analysis to help estimate fear the technology, reduce staff concern about new technology. Minus two example, I can put example here. Minus two, it could be important to show staff that change in necessary for business survival, add a new force in favor. Positive to staff could be shown that new equipment or technology would introduce new skills and interest to the job. So new force, positive effect. Managers could raise wages to reward staff for the high productivity, increase cost minus one, but reduce cost of loss of staff minus two. IT machines could be selected that are more energy efficient. Environment effect of new technology minus one. These are different numbers you have to give into different factors. And at the end of the particular calculation, you have to find out okay, which one is strong and which one have a positive and negative effect on on that particular decision. Example, company has to adopt a new technology. What are the positive factors and what are the negative factors? You have to calculate it, and then if you see out okay the positive factors are higher, that is in favor of your decision, you will definitely implement the particular decision, and that can be helpful to achieving your goals. And if you find out that there are more negative numbers and the things are not in favor of your company, and that become hurdle for your business, so you will leave it. Then you have to find cost benefit analysis. This is also called, first of all, you have to find out all the cost and what are benefit of particular activity, and you have to calculate end of the result that which one is favorable and which one is not. Evaluation of force field analysis. This technique is widely used in change situation for the reason given that it has two main limitations as a strategic choice method. Unskilled and inexperienced managers could fail to identify all relevant forces involved in it change process. So if your workers are untrained and unskilled, so they are not able to identify which forces, which factors generally affect on positive way and which factors are affect on negative way, so that create a problem. The allocation of numerical value of a driving and constraint forces that subjective to two managers independently undertake to take the positive actions. So basically, the important thing is that you need to train your forces, to train your workforce to get a right result. Now the next options choice and strategy choice. What type of strategy you have to adopt is called decision tree. No decision making techniques can be eliminate the risk involved in choosing between options, but managers can help themselves greatly if they have to adopt a logical approach to decision making. A diagram that set out the options connected with decisions and the outcome and economic return that may result. So in this diagram you have different options for doing the business and they're expecting returns, and you have to easily find out okay option there are different option A, option B, option C, option D, the different cost of making the particular options and what are the return of these options. You have to subtract the profit minus return and you can get the right result answer. The technique based on diagram that is drawn to represent four main features of the business decisions. All the options open for managers, the different possible outcomes resulting from these options that I discussed earlier, the choice of these outcomes occurring, the economic return of these outcomes by comparing the likely financial result of each option. The managers can minimize the risk involved in it. How they are constructed. The tree in a diagram which has a lot of features, it constructs from left to right. Each batch of the tree represent the options together with a range of consequences or outcomes of each chances. Decision option points are dependent upon are donated as a square. These are decision note. The circle shows the range of outcome by result from decisions or chance of node. The possibility is there. Okay, how much possibility are there? 50% or 60% chances of that particular occurrence. The economic return of expected gain and losses of particular activity. Example: you have to start a business. In summer, I think that in summer there are more chances of rain, and so that's why I have to plan to operate a cold drink industry, cold drink factory. Now I think that okay, where I have to sell it, in a rural area or urban area. As it is a huge competitive market, so you have to make a choice. Okay, fine. First of all, you have to think that okay, in making a factory, you have $5 million dollars need for making a particular factory. Now, if you have to go for rural area or urban area, you make a choice chances 30% and 70%. If there are then are there economic returns, that how much return from particular site. From rural area, there is the example we see that 100 million, and then rural area there is chances of urban area there is chances of 50 million. So you have to multiply the chances percentage of occurrence multiply by economic returns, and then you have to add both of them, and then you have to go for subtract the cost, and you can get the find out either there is a profit or loss, and so on. Advantages: these force the decision maker to consider all the options and variables related to the decisions. They put these on the easy way to follow diagram, which allow a numerical consideration of risk and economic return to be included. The approach encourage logical thinking and decision against managers. This time I don't have a pad to make a draw picture of that, but in next class I try my best to give a small note on it. Decision tree evaluation. The primary limitation of concern the accuracy of the data used. Estimate economic return may be quite accurate when they are concerned project where experiences has been gained from similar decisions. In addition, the probability of events occurring may be based on past data, but circumstances may change. The conclusion must be that decision tree aid the decision making process, but they cannot replace either the consideration of risk of the impact of non-numerical quantitative factors on the decision. The latter could include the impact of environment, the attitude of workforce, and approaches of risk taken by managers and owner of businesses. So basically, the same story that we discussed earlier, that basically the decision tree give an indication to managers and owner that it can be that you have to reduce the risk by taking different options, and you have to feel free in making the options, but you prepare the decision tree on the basis of past data. Maybe but in future the trend has been changed, so it is not give 100% accuracy that your risk will be down. Finally, it must be not be forgotten that the expected value or average return, assuming that the outcome occurs more than once, with any single one of decision, the average will not, in fact, be the final result. Decision tree allow a quantitative consideration of future risk to be made. They do not eliminate those risks. Thank you very much. See you in next time with new video. Stay with me. Allah Hafiz. Have a good day.